students. Welcome to our Cost and Management Accounting 1 class today. I'm so happy to have you. I'm wondering where the other students are. Nonetheless, we will be having a wonderful lesson today because we will be moving on to a new topic. And please head up your books as we'll begin. Our objective for today is that we need to know the difference between two costing systems, and we need to work out some examples. So when you're in the working world, you will know exactly what to do when you come across costing, or maybe when you own your own business, you will know how to do your costing so you're not easily robbed or tricked or scammed, right? Because you know that's the trend nowadays, all right? So we will begin. So after I finish this again. Alright, so previously in the last class we did job costing, and we said we were going to look at the costing system this week, and you all were supposed to read. You're supposed to read on the costing system for today's lesson. I hope you all did that, right? Students? Denise, did you do your homework?
Yes.
Wonderful. So we will begin with the definition for costing. Alright, cost. So based on your reading from the assignment, you are going to tell me what is costing and how important costing is. Nicole, I'll start with you. What do you think costing is based on what we did in the last class? This is just a refresher. So, Denise, would you like to help Nicole on what you think costing is?
My opinion based on costing is that costing is the amount of money you charge for a particular product or service offered.
Very good. So Nicole, now that you heard that, how important do you think costing is in your, not even in just this lesson, but in your day-to-day life?
This is very important, because without costing you won't know what if the company or the business is making a
Profit or a loss. Very good, very good. Very good. Alright, this is just information for you, the purpose of a costing system. And it says costing system helps company determine the cost of a product related to a revenue it generates. And two common costing systems which we are going to look at today. This is the main objective of our lesson. Two common costing systems used in business are traditional costing and activity-based costing. Before you move on though, Mr. Technician, I'm going to ask you, what do you think activity-based costing is? I know you're busy for a presentation that is coming up shortly, but you should have done your assignment last night, and so I'm going to ask you to tell us what activity-based costing is.
It is a costing method that identifies the activities performed within the organization and it delivers its goods and services.
Very good, Shauna. Thank you very much. And I'll excuse you for being a good student for the next 2 minutes to finish that presentation that you have to go.
Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Now, Mr. Clint, what is traditional costing? What do you think it is? In your own words. We don't have a foolish answer, just anything that comes to mind. Traditional costing.
Tradition basically is a method of calculating the cost of products using an average method. So it's estimated, so it's not aligning the portions based on the cost driver. So you know that the ingredients overall to make a package, overall ingredients will cost $50. So it's okay, $50. And then once you have the medium cost $30.
Exactly.
So there's no breakdown.
There's no breakdown. That's overall, so one part.
Wonderful. But do you think that is fair? Do you think that is fair in our day-to-day life?
It won't be the actual analysis that we have how much is really money actually spending. You know that overall you're spending that amount, but it's good to know where most of the money is going. So in the case of getting to substitute for something else, you don't know where the money will actually make and save.
Wonderful.
I can use it also, as I said, maybe in the pricing and stuff, because like you're selling different items, so you don't want to put one price on all the items.
Exactly.
So you know you have to do like, if you're manufacturing, as I said before, you're manufacturing a juice or biscuit, or you don't just put one cost of the biscuit cost and then the juice cost, and you have to know which one take more product or more electricity, so you have to apportion the different cost drivers to each product.
Very good, Nicole. Very good. Well said, and that does not need another addition. Let's move on to the next slide, Mr. Technician. So, based on what you just said, this is a traditional costing system, how it is set up. And we all learned in our last class, job costing, that we have direct cost, indirect cost, and then we have manufacturing overhead. No, direct and indirect, and then we have the overhead. Now, with traditional, the problem comes with factory overhead. So for traditional and activity-based costing, the direct and the indirect, it's the same rule that governs both. But where you have the difference is the manufacturing overhead. Where in the traditional costing, the manufacturing overhead is just one explanation of expenses, while the activity-based costing, you have a breakdown, different sets. So you have the raw materials and you have all the attributes that makes up the product. So, and this helps the manager to come up with a final price. Okay? Alright, so we move on to our next slide. And basically this is what we were saying just now. But this is a formal definition, and I'm going to ask Nicole to read for me, please.
Traditional costing, conventional method.
And this is another name for traditional costing.
Conventional
method. Wonderful.
Okay.
Alright.
Assign cost to products based on an average overhead rate. This method pools all indirect costs in production and apply these costs equally across the board.
Exactly, and what this is saying, if you, as Nicola said earlier, if you produce bread and you produce water, for example, you get the water from a well, and you have to use electricity and all those other variants to come up with the final price, the final product for the bread, then you find that in traditional costing, they'll say, okay, $10, we spend $10 to make juice and bread. What we're going to do, we're going to split it. $5 for bread, $5 for juice. That's basically what the traditional cost is. So now you can move on to the next slide, please. And then this is another example. And it says, a simple example for this costing method can be demonstrated with the cost of living in an apartment with roommates. Listen to this.
Yes.
2 roommates in an apartment will typically split the cost of rent, utilities, and groceries, and they have a couple of options for doing so. they could simply total the cost of all the bills and divide it exactly in two. This would be similar to a traditional costing, exactly what we were saying just now in our definition. Alright, let's move on to the next slide. This is just showing you that it's a much easier way to do things rather than the activity-based costing. But you know, the easier is not normally the best way, because this is the easiest way and it's not fair. But this is the best way, but it's hard for you to track.
The indirect,
The
overhead, yes.
In future, because you won't remember, we're not computer, our brain, after a certain time, we'll lose track of everything. Alright, so let's move to the next slide. This will be a video, and I'm going to ask you to observe, and then we'll have a discussion after.
Imagine you have a small takeout joint selling burgers and lemonades. This month, you sell 100 burgers and 100 lemonades, for a total of 200 items. What if, at the end of the month, you have an electric power bill of $200? How will you divide the electric bill between the burgers and the lemonades? Easy. $200 divided by 200 items equals $1 in electric power for each burger or lemonade sold. But what if you use 3 kilowatt hours of electric power to make one burger, but only 1 kilowatt hour of electric power to make a glass of lemonade? Is it still fair to write down $1 of electric power for one burger and $1 of electric power for one lemonade? We should write down a bigger electric power cost for the burger, right? This is where activity-based costing is different from traditional costing. Traditional costing is easy because it often just divides some types of costs equally between different items. These are usually costs which are a bit difficult to divide or allocate between products, such as electricity, telephone bills, internet usage, rent, salaries, and others. However, activity-based costing finds ways to divide or allocate these costs more proportionally or fairly, so that we can write down a higher cost for items or products which use more of the stuff related to cost. In our case, we now know that we should write down a higher electric power cost for burgers than for lemonades. As a result, this might cause us to sell our burgers at a higher price than the lemonades, and the lemonades at a lower price than the burgers. Of course, electric power is not the only cost in making burgers and lemonades. Therefore, we have to think about other costs as well before making our final pricing decisions. See, the basic concept of activity-based costing isn't so difficult, is it?
So we have two groups in the class. Just now you looked at the video of an introductory video of activity-based costing. And now I'm going to ask you to tell me in your own words what you get from the video based on, you can give a definition what you think activity-based costing is based on the video that you just watched. Anyone?
I was thinking. From the video, what I get, activity-based costing, I identify the different cost driver to making a product and put it to that particular product. In terms of we're dealing with the burger and the juice, it was stated that in the traditional, they usually split the cost between the burger and the juice. But in the ABC now, what they do is look which one costs use more to produce, what use more like in terms of electricity, ingredients to produce, and that's where most of the cost will go to. Instead of just splitting it in half, you know, if they put which one use more what to that particular product. Am I on the right track, miss?
Yes, you are. Perfect. Well said. Thank you very much.
And that will also determine the cost of the product in the long run.
Right.
So, you know, in the end, the burger will cost more than the juice because more is put into doing the burger than the juice. Am I right, class?
Yes, you are. Denise, you don't look as though you're... Are you okay, Denise?
Yes.
Am I boring you to death, Denise? Okay. Okay. Alright. So now we're going to move on. And this is just traditional accounting versus the ABC. What we see over here is that traditional accounting is just the cost, the goods. They care very, as a matter of fact, they don't even care about the activities in between this process. It's just the cost to the product. Where you can see ABC has a breakdown where you have the cost, but the cost is also determined by the activities that help to make the product. Clear enough? Okay. Alright, now for ABC costing, we know that for everything in accounting, we have to use a formula. Now, you know, for everything in our day-to-day life, using accounts, we have to use formula, right? So the formula for active-based costing is basically the total cost for each activity divided by the total activity. And I'm going to show you an example in short order. Okay? Next slide, Mr. Soundman. And this is the activity. Alright, we're getting nervous. Okay, so this is our activity for today. And I'm going to ask Denise to come to the board. We're going to get you involved in this class. This is student center. We're doing collaborative teaching, collaborative learning, I should say. So you're going to teach your classmates.
Okay.
You are all given this assignment to read. So I trust that you all did it, and we'll see all those who did their homework. So you're going to read the question, and everybody, the two groups will assist Denise. It says the following activity is designed to give you practice in calculating the activity rate. Tails Ink manufactures lasers in its factory in Santa Cruz. The overhead costs for the first 6 months of operations are as follows, and we see them there. What I'm supposed to do? The management accountant at Tails Inc. has identified a cost pool as volume order process, customer service, and miscellaneous. Right. The overhead has been traced to the cost pool as follows. Go to the next slide, please, for her. And that is what the question looks like. And this is what it looks like. So calculate the activity rate for the volume, order, processing, and customer service. And we know that the formula to calculate ABC costing is total cost divided by total activity. Wonderful. Very good. Very good. Alright, let us plug in some figures. Alright, let us take the first one, which is volume. So we know that the volume, the total
1 million.
The total for volume, the total cost for volume is 1.267 million divided by the total number of direct hours, which is the activity, right, which is 1,000, 100,000. Right. Could you plug this in your calculator for me? Okay. How much? 12. Alright, 0, 0. 12.675. 12.67.
12.68.
12.68. So that would have been $12.68. But you know, in accounting, if you round off the first one, you'll have to round off everything else, right? Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. So class, what do you think about that first one? Do you think she's correct?
She's on
Yes,
the right
yes, she's correct.
She's on the right track.
Okay, very good.
Yes, she can handle it.
Let's move on to order processing. And I hope you're paying attention because you'll be getting 2 graded assignments to take into the next class.
So it's 2 500 divided by 200,000. So that's in your calculator. That would have been $4 for
400,000.
200,000. I can see this group around there working very hard.
Yeah,
Lovely.
yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Hello, that's from my man. 400,000. Here, from between the two, for not that.
4,400.
No,
Yes.
It's 4 points. Yes.
Good teamwork. Good teamwork.
that's $4.41.
Run it up, man. 41 cents. Run it up.
Oh, you can't afford to 1 cent because the 2.
41 cents. Get the 2
Yeah,
can change
2
the
can
1.
change.
Says 41 cents, please.
41
Do your math.
cents.
Take off the 25.
Okay, move the 25. Lovely.
That's 41 cents.
Me sound like a scammer.
Alright, and the next one is
Customer service.
and it is the
Customer service is 1.
So this, I'm telling you, application just roll up those when you get more space.
No, everyone did not write off. Okay. Alright, so while she's doing that, everyone get the essence of how
Yes, me.
ABC costing is
TC calculated.
calculated?
Yes, yes.
Okay, wonderful.
and this is what
Yeah,
So we'll do one more and then move on.
$26 point.
I don't see anybody writing, you know. I don't see anyone writing. And accounting is all about practicing. So those 2 at the back, using computer, and computer can crash any minute.
That would be not Jesus in the
Not-
Here. This is yours.
May I borrow
Thank you very much.
may I have this, please?
Oh, it's yours.
Thank you.
That's my marker. See?
Okay.
Will any
All right, thank you very much, Denise, for your
Teacher don't have
I hope everyone got this.
Yes, Miss.
Okay, and we move on. Next slide for me, please. All right. So I'm going to ask
Clean.
I'm
Clean,
sorry
please,
about
clean.
Stepped up.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to read what's on the board for me, please.
Which should be used?
And when they say which should be used, what are we talking about?
Which one of the method?
The costing is perfect, all right?
So it says that both forms of costing have various benefits as well as disadvantages. Determine which of the following costing will be best suited for your project by considering specific needs and time and your time frame.
Activity-based costing should be used when accuracy is crucial because it is the most
Most
precise.
precise. You agree with this?
Yes, more accurate, less human error.
Okay, very good. All right.
Yes,
You can
and times when
Overhead is high.
because small changes in each product cost can make a large difference overall. This method makes it easy to
Visualize and understand all indirect costs and activities.
and internal use because decision makers will be able to see all relevant spending and can document all indirect costs accurately. This method is good for finding areas of wasteful spending.
And who uses this information?
Managers.
Managers. So if I have a janitor Would my janitor require this information?
No.
No.
Unless I'm very nice.
Unless?
Every guy to stay there.
I'm not
But
hearing
you
you.
have no use to the janitor.
To the janitor?
We're going to use the ABC to operate.
Exactly. So ABC costing is utilized by management for decision making. Please remember that because you'll see it on your test. Let's move on to the next slide. Alright, and it said traditional costing on the other hand should be considered when time is limited or when accuracy won't be affected much by production activity. Traditional costing is most effective for times when overhead is low in comparison to activity-based costing when overhead is high, compared to the direct cost, because this is when it will be the most accurate. This works well when there are a large number of similar items being produced. External use because it will be easier for outsiders to determine the value of products.
So like things in bulk?
Like things in bulk. Very good.
Like 2 people and addition.
Very good. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so based on what was taught in this lesson today, I'm going to ask for you to go to your Quizlet and our next class, page 12, our next class is on the 14th, and I'm going to ask all of you to go Sunday. I'm making sure that I give you the weekend. Your next class is Monday, but this work that I'm going to send to Quizlet will be due on Sunday, so you have the entire weekend to do it. And it will be graded, and it will be 50% of your overall grade. Yes, 50%. Alright? And the activities will be given there also. Have yourself a wonderful afternoon. I hope everyone have lunch. If you don't have lunch, come and speak to me.
Miss, we can talk to you right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, miss.